but it's how much you think you spent over the 5 years. And if I was going to give a figure, so today's video is going to be slightly different to what you used to. If you used to me going like this and you want to see that, then please switch over to my other videos. But today, we're going to get a bit more serious. We're going to talk about something that a lot of people don't know about me. And that is, I used to own a clothing brand called Kazari with my three best mates, Brad, Kian, and my brother. It was my life, it was our lives for about 5 years. So I'm going to answer a few unanswered questions, a little Q&A style thing. I hope you enjoy. So we've took it up one notch of noise level. We've got ring lights. Shout out to Cat X for supplying them. I love you dearly. So the first question I've got is, when and why did you start? So we started, I think, back in 2014 when we were about 16. I remember getting back from Kavos, being in the conservatory and thinking, should we give it a go? I know a massive inspiration for us was seeing Lewis Morgan and the other lad who gets all the credit.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Start Gymshark. It was before they were massive, and we thought, you know what, let's give it a go. So we contacted some suppliers via Alibaba and kind of went from there. So the next question we've got is, how much did you invest and where did you get the money from? So to answer the first bit, I don't actually know how much money we all invested because we were never professional with it. We never accounted for anything, and that's kind of a lesson that I take into any other business. But if I was going to give a figure, I'll probably say about £1,500 to start with. And then we kind of every 4 months had to reinvest about £2.5 grand because we needed a 20 grand collection, but we only had 10 grand. So we did that for about 2 years before it actually sustained itself. And then the second part is, where'd you get the money from? Now, I can't comment on what the others did, but me and my brother, we inherited it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say we started from nothing because we didn't, but we got a lump sum and we thought, you know what, let's spend it wisely and let's use it. I was actually speaking to my dad the other day and he said, do you reckon you would have been able to do it if you didn't have like the inheritance? And I said, you know what, it could have helped us because we had this almost unlimited amount at the age of 18 and we thought, let's just use it all. We didn't really have the concept of money, but who knows? So some of these questions are from my Instagram because I asked a little Q&A, and some are just things that I'd want to know. So my next question is, what jobs did everyone have? So I'll start with everyone else. So my brother was like the social media guy. He was doing all our posting. He was looking after the influencers. Kian was our logistics guy. He was doing all the shipping, like liaising with our supplier on stock management. And Brad was doing the accounts. It was the one job that no one wanted to do. Like, I couldn't think of anything worse than having to do like numbers all day. So he was the guy for that. So I appreciate that immensely. Now me, I can't lie, I did a bit of everything. We all did a bit of everything when was needed. But myself, I was doing the website, I was doing Facebook advertising, I was doing photo shoots, I was doing supplier meetings, doing like design. Obviously we had like full-time jobs, all of us worked, and we had to used to go into Birmingham and speak with our supplier until like 11 o'clock, pretty much like twice a week. It got a bit strenuous, it was tiring, but at the time we just felt, oh, we're hustling, we're doing this, but you've got to have a balance. Probably the most asked question by all my mates because they just wanted to rip me. But did you ever use the brand or the company or the business to get girls? Now, I'd love to say no, I didn't. But of course we did. We used to go to these fancy events and we used to have to flex. We used to pretend that, yeah, we're doing amazing. It was our full-time jobs when actually it wasn't. But you got to use what you've got at the time. Now, funny story, we went to Ibiza the one year. Me, Josh and Kian, the other two stayed at home. And we just drank all our drink on our table, as you do. We were obviously all a bit legless. We went over to VIP, we got onto a table with however many girls. We're living it up, pretending we were this and that. Kian came over, God knows where he's been. He's probably been with some celebrities or whatnot. And he was like, should we get another bottle? I said, yeah, let's get another bottle. He was like, you sure? He was like, yeah. I was like, use the company card.
Buy some drinks and then wait for the gas to form an orderly queue.
The girls were like, oh my God, you got a company? I was like, yeah. I was like, we're making no dough. We gave him the card, went and bought this bottle of Ciroc or whatever, €400. I know. It came over and then within about 10-15 minutes, because Brad was doing all our accounts and obviously checking on it, we got a text and a call off my brother or off him saying, what the fuck are you doing? Like, are you stupid spending all this money on it? And we thought we were ballers. Obviously, we didn't worry about it till the next day. The funniest story to that is that we actually got the bottle, we lost the bottle, got stolen. I then pleaded with management, they gave us another bottle, and then we got it lost again. But that's a story for a different video. So of course, we used it to our advantage. Now this next question is a good one, a little bit of a stirring one. And I know who's asked this, but it is, who was your worst colleague to work with? Now, it's hard to say because we all had our moments, we all had our fallouts, but we all stayed great friends. But the worst colleague, I'm gonna have to say my brother. It's the easier option, and I don't think he'll mind me saying this. At the time, he was earning bank, and I mean big dough, like working his arse off at his day job. And he kind of was the first one just to lose interest. He was like, why are we doing this for no money when I'm earning this dough and making this money and doing all this sort of stuff? So I'm gonna have to use my brother as the scapegoat. But we were all fine. We all worked well together most of the time. So going on to a bit more of a happier vibe, we're going to talk best moments, best standout moments of the brand. And there's so many more highs than lows, but to actually put it up in a nutshell and not ramble on too much, first Black Friday, or maybe the second Black Friday, we actually took it seriously. To give a bit of context, we were doing 16 grand for the whole year. And I think that weekend alone, we did about 9 grand. But we were doing that. And it was just a mad feeling. Getting orders coming through. We were still in my mum and dad's bedroom, like packing orders at that time. It was just a crazy feeling. There's nothing better. Now the second one has got to be when Alex Bowen came out of the Love Island Villa. It was before influencer marketing was massive, before you had to spend £3,000 plus on a post, and he just came out. It was like, I love your clothing, you're from Brum, send me some clothing over. So we sent it over, and you're going to see all the photos. It was just like, it blew us up. We went from doing, I don't know, an order a day, if that, to doing 10 orders a day. And that kind of continued for a year and a half. It took us to that next level. The growth was massive. We were getting more likes than we've ever got. And it was just crazy. But obviously that's changed now. You have to spend ridiculous amounts on it. I think Kylie Jenner's about 250 grand just for a post. It's mad. So just think about that when they're posting and they're making all this dough. Yeah. So obviously talking about the best moments, we obviously had worse moments. We had the bads, the lows, the everything that comes with business. The things that probably stand out the most is from the get-go. So what happened was we bought 3 different teas over, I don't know, 4 or 5 months of sampling and working our asses off, which it felt like at the time. They came, I remember coming in from work on my moped, so I must have been about 16. All the lads were there, my mum and dad were in. I walked in, everyone looked doom and gloom. The t-shirts were all over the floor. I was like, what's happened? They said, we can't sell them. I said, what do you mean we can't sell them? They're here. He said, we can't sell these t-shirts. All the embroidery, and I hope I've got a picture or videos to show, it's just ripped out. It was all zigzag. So my dad, bless him, he sorted them all out. He painted them all through, and we actually sold them. We made probably the best profit we've ever made on a product because it was all being kept in one of our bedrooms. And that was probably on a smaller scale. We've had it on so many different scales. And trust me, all these brands, all these businesses have issues with sampling, have issues with products that you don't see, and they might say it wasn't an issue, but trust me, they've got issues. We spent 25 grand on a collection, and pretty much all of it was just fucked. Like, we couldn't use it. I'm hoping I've got photos of that. All them little moments that make you appreciate business, and it's not all highs. There's definitely some lows, but you live and you learn. So the next question we've got is, who's your favourite influencer? Who's the best influencer to use? Now, I'm going to say this now. A lot of influencers charge ridiculous amounts. They're a bit bratty. They don't want to post when you want them to post, when it's convenient for them. But the one influencer that stands out to me has got to be my boy Brandon. Brandon Myers. At the time when we first met him, we first went down to London, which was a big moment for us. It was the first influencer, the model we were meeting. We went down with Sean, who was our photographer. We just clicked. It was before he was massive, before he had his thousands of followers. It was his first shoot, I believe. He was kind of the face of probably our best collection. So definitely Brandon. And there's so many other influencers that we've used that didn't work. But I'd say use your local influencers, use people that are coming up, because they're the ones that graft, they're the ones that work, and usually are the most sound. So the next question we got is probably the question that I get asked the most. It was something that we definitely thought about when we was in it, and that is, do you think it would have been easier with just 2 of you over the 4? Now, I always say it wouldn't have been easier. At the time, you have to remember, we were all the best mates. We were enjoying it. We were loving it. It was a dream to do that. So it wouldn't have been easier due to workload. But in regards to splitting the money, we could have maybe gone full time if there was only two of us, but it wasn't something we thought about. We had it so much from everyone on the outside saying, you need to just get rid of the others. But they were our best mates, do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't say it was easier, but in regards to money-wise, maybe. So I always feel a little bit wanky, a little bit unworthy of answering this question, because technically, well, we did fail.
You're unworthy!
But best advice you give anyone starting out or wanting to start a business, and I'm going to go down the generic route and say, just be passionate about it. You got to love what you're doing, whether it's to do with selling crackers, whether it's fashion, jewellery, anything you're doing, you've got to love it. Because trust me, the hours you put into it are relentless, and be patient. So you've got to remember that time is everything, and it's not going to happen overnight. And I know my dad's going to laugh at this and he's going to be like, yeah, I did tell you so. But listen to your parents. Like, they know better in most situations. I don't care if you're a 17-year-old thinking you can do it all and you know better. Trust me, it's going to save a lot of money and a lot of tears. So now we're going to get into the numbers talk. For all the nosy fuckers out there, listen, it's something I'd want to hear if I was listening. So here we go. Now, it is a hard one to answer, but how much money did you all earn from it? And it's a hard one to say because we never accounted for it. As I said before, like, we never actually put it down. We were taking drips and drabs out. Sorry, Mr. Taxman, but that's what happens. But if I was going to give a number, I'd probably say over the 5 years, so remember this, we're probably making about £1,000. Now, over 5 years, that's absolutely nothing. And I was probably flexing. I don't even know why I'm saying flexing. I don't even like the word, but I was pretending that I was making this money, making that money, but actually I was just a good saver with my day job and we were reinvesting. You've got to remember, this doesn't happen overnight. You've got to reinvest for probably the first 2 to 3 years. So just remember that when you're seeing these business owners doing all this and getting new cars, there's probably another way they're doing it. So this is the one that I don't want to dwell on for too long because it is a little bit depressing. But it's how much you think you spent over the 5 years. And if I was going to give a figure, you know what, it's a hard one because I spoke to Brad yesterday and I said, how much you reckon? If you think of it like this, for about 2 years, every 4 months, we were spending 20 grand, if not more, on a collection. So that's about 120 already. You then got to think about Facebook ads, storage costs, accounting costs that I'm going to touch on very briefly. So I'm going to give a figure about over 200k. Easily. We didn't actually make that, but we were spending it as soon as it was coming in. So hindsight is a beautiful thing, just know that. So we spoke about the good times, we spoke about numbers, and now we're going to get into the doom and gloom. And that is, what were your biggest mistakes? Now I'm going to hold my hands up and say, we made a few.
Hey, say that again.
But we were young, we started when we were 16, we had no real guidance, we were just learning on the job. But if I was going to do it again, I'd definitely be on top of our overheads.
Hey, tell me about it.
For example, and you're going to laugh at this if you're in business or if you're into this type of stuff, we were spending £400 to £500 every single month without bookkeeping just on accountants. For a bit of context for anyone who doesn't know, you should be spending, now I know, about £1,500 a year. We had our... But, yeah. Another thing was growing it a lot slower with the products, with the collections. If you haven't sold them products within the first 4 to 5 months, then they're dead. Like, with all these brands bringing out new collections every week, if you're left behind and you've still got that stock, you're burning it. And trust me, we've done it. You do not want to be burning basically money. So here we are, the final question, and it's probably the question I get asked the most, and that is, why did you sell? It looks like it was doing so well. It's probably the most unanswered question that everyone's thinking. So here we go. For a period of time, it was doing so well. Like, it actually was. We weren't just flexing. I've said it again. We weren't just pretending it was doing good, like it actually was. But everyone knows you can make your Instagram, you can make your life look better than it is. And that's what we were doing. Girlfriends came along, babies came along, not for me, I hope. And on a personal note, my mental health just deteriorated. I was getting anxious, I was getting stressed, I couldn't sleep. I was just a nose to be around. So we thought, you know what, this ain't worth the headache. And I'm not going to sit here and say the money was always good, because it wasn't. We went from doing really well within a year, doing horrendously. And that obviously got us down. But I'm proud of what we've done. I'm just buzzing that I did it. It's put me in great stead for future things I want to do, for my own personal brand. So I'm taking it as a win, as corny as it sounds. I'm happy.
You finished? I mean, there's so much self-pity.
Well, thank God that's over with. But before I go, because I think we have hit the 15-minute mark, I've got a few thank yous that I just want to say because I don't think I have over the years. So first up, we've got Sean Newton. He was our photographer from day one. He always went above and beyond. He's just sick at what he does, so I thank you. Now, secondly, we've got my best mate, Josh. Now, without Kazari, I wouldn't have known him. That's how we met. He was a model for Kazari at the start. He always promoted it like it was his own, so I thank you, brother. Now, thirdly, we've got my friends, we've got my family. Without you guys, honestly, we couldn't have done it. The support was mad. Like, my friends always had a piece of clothing on, whether it was jeans, a t-shirt, the Rascal hats that we used to have. Your support meant the absolute world. Now, I don't think I've ever said this, but I want to thank the lads that I did it with. Kian, Brad, and my brother. I put you through shit. Like, I was an absolute knob at times, but you always supported, and I wouldn't have wanted to do it with anyone else. So, thank you. But I'm going to leave it there. I hope you've enjoyed a bit more of a serious, me keeping my hands down for the majority. So if you did like the video, please like it. If you want to subscribe, please do so. It's been emotional.